Good evening, one and all. This is Kalyani Pantangi. I'm here with another new session, and today I'm talking about pandemic effects on personal relationship and the mental wellness. So this is a very deep subject, and there is lots that we need to talk. So let's quickly watch this video and then come back and understand. May I request the production?
Mental health is how you feel, how you think, how you behave. It's part of life and it's not a stigma anymore. Hello everyone, I am Rucha Mehta, founder of a beautiful initiative, Ear to Hear. We started 5 months back, which was on 1st of Jan, and we have representatives from lot of cities and states. I would like to request you to join us to make a difference in your city, in your state. We would like to welcome all the women to come forward and support us because together we can and we will make a difference.
Thank you, team. So, may I request the production team to play the slides? Thank you, Richa. So, today's topic is pandemic effects on personal relationships and mental wellness. Before we get into the topic, a little more brief about Year to Hear. It's a beautiful and social initiative for a noble cause and a super awesome initiative. Moving on. Our vision is to just not create awareness, but support all those women who need to be heard. They have an issue, they have a concern, they have a crisis. They want somebody to listen to them and support them so that they are able to take this forward at ease. We are here, we are all ears for them. And our mission is to be present in every state, every union territory, every city, big city, small city, wherever possible across India, and not just restrict to India, go beyond borders and be in other countries wherever we can support. And we are supporting women passionately because it is we women who need to be heard. It is we women who go through silently so much that we become the victims at one point in time, or we come to a saturation point, and we don't want that to happen. So we are here to listen to you, and we are all ears for you. Moving on. Today's topic, mental wellness. Because of this pandemic, what way has it affected our personal relationship? Do you agree with me we did have a churn? Do you understand and do you relate with me that we did have a problem there? Yes or no? When I say yes, many of them, at least I know, have come back and said, we did have an effect. Talking about me, did I have? I too did go through a roller coaster ride. Yes, all of us went through a major churn in our personal relationship that affected our mental wellness. That did. Obviously, just imagine we've been cocooned in house. We are all people who go out, meet up with people, do work, do so many things, get things done. Suddenly, we were asked to be at home. Initially, it was fine, but eventually, we started feeling claustrophobic, which could not be addressed. Then, we started taking that frustration out. We started working in different aspects. Let's go ahead and understand that in detail and how we can address it come in the coming days. Why we need to address it in the coming days, we need to become strong, because I know there are relationships that are strained. We need to rectify them, we need to correct the things that went wrong, and we are here to discuss that today. Moving on. So the first thing that happened was we had to battle with the changes. Suddenly we had to get into a cocoon where infection was the prime concern, where we had to protect ourselves from the infection. First biggest challenge was that, you touch this, am I going to get? You touch that, am I going to get? This was the case, right? Last year, February, March, across India, across the world, we weren't very clear how the pandemic was spreading, what were the root causes, who was getting it, whether it's any age group, whether it's blood group related. First, we had to go about overcoming that fear. And many of us have still carried that fear. Why we have carried that fear? What is it? Because we have gone ahead and followed media so closely of what was happening in other countries. We followed the media so closely of what was happening in our country. We looked on all the negative sides of it, and that fear captivated us. Some of us, we did not go through the media, we did not go through the social media, but still, we had that fear. Will I get affected? If that comes, what will I do? How will I handle it? What can I do? There were a lot of fears and apprehensions that all of us faced, and that's been carried forward even to this day. Next, crisis, existential crisis. Why this crisis? When the lockdown had begun, we weren't we weren't certain of the provisions we would get. What were the things that we would get? Suddenly the markets were closed. Suddenly everything was closed. How did we handle that? Now, what will happen if we suddenly do? We started hoarding stuff, no doubt about it. But what will happen now? That's a big question mark, because worldwide they are saying, in US they are saying it's Delta variant and the wave is still on. In Australia they have declared it as third wave. In Europe, the cases that they have found, again they've come back and said it's Delta variant because they're all on vacation right now. Africa, they have seen Delta variants. India, we have seen Delta variant. It's so much of confusion. And amidst all this confusion, we started hoarding. This is a big crisis, according to people. Many of us started being with the family, we started feeling lonely. We have parents, we have siblings, we have relatives. Some kind of a mental rapture has happened over there. The peace rapture has happened. Why did that rapture happen? Why did the peace disappear? What was the reason? And this continued state where people have no peace has actually made us come to a stage of being burnt out. Yes, all of us are at the stage of burnt out right now. We are burning out because of what is being prolonged. Just yesterday, I was telling to somebody I was interacting with, I don't know when this pandemic is going off, when life is going to become normal. I just want to get back to my old self. I miss that. This was just exactly the same words I used. There has been no vacation. We haven't been attending functions properly. We haven't had gatherings. I haven't met up with my friends. I haven't had a very great social life. All of us are feeling the same thing, right? It's just not me. All of us are feeling that way. And not only that, many of us have that sense of guilt. I'm not able to take care of my parents well. I'm not able to provide what my kids want. I'm not able to do that for my spouse. I need to be there for my friends. I'm not there for my friends. And all these things has caused a perceived stigma. Now, what are these perceived stigmas? First thing I could say a stigma is that most of us have battled it over a year, but thanks to the vaccination that we have. But last year, all of us were in the notion, if I'm affected, I'm going to die. But now we've moved out of that. But still, we have the fear. Delta variant could affect us because our vaccination that we have taken is not compliant for the Delta variant. And all this information we are being fed because of either the media or social media or talk or whatever it is. And in the process of battling these challenges, somewhere we lost that tiny weeny line or tiny weeny hope called as faith. Somewhere we have lost that belief that God is above everything and He can control even now. Somewhere we have lost that sense that let's face whatever comes, or let's cross the bridge when it comes. You know what I'm trying to say is, it's not that we are at fault, it's not the situation. Situations are as such, but we have gone into a cocoon over here. We have gone into a stage where we've started accepting and admitting negativity without an option. And today, my aim is to address and break that ice. What we froze ourselves with the negativity, I want to break it. Now, you may come back and say, I don't get any such negative feeling. I don't do all that. I don't have any such kind of a thing. I want you to just go back, relax, sit and think. Today, if the government announces lockdown, or today, if you hear that the cases have multiplied, what is your state of mind? Are you calm? Are you composed? Aren't you agitated? Because this is not the state only in India, it's across the world. And this is not the state only with you or me, it's almost every other person that is going through. And these challenges have been a prolonging challenges from the time the pandemic has started. Moving on, amidst all these challenges, we are to go about looking at what were the needs that we felt that was needed then, and what is it that we need now, especially working people, especially people who are old, especially people who have kids, especially people who have been working with half salary, quarter salary. Our salaries have reduced because there's no business, but our expenditure has not reduced. Do you agree with me or not? So these needs, the challenges was one side which has actually burnt us and brought us to one level of mental state. The needs that are adding to this mental state. What is it? We've missed on the flexible work policies. We are not having insurance. Like there is something called as COVID insurance that's there, but during the time of emergency, people with insurance weren't treated. That we have seen it in wave one and wave two also. And those people who were fortunately being treated, they had to go through so much of relation, documentation related issues. That is again a biggest headache right now. And communication. You're not able to communicate this to anybody. Whom will you go and complain? Your insurance policy was not processed, or whatever benefits you had to get from your company you did not get. Whom will you go and complain? What happened in wave 2, all of us know, because we can't blame the government also. It happened so drastically and so, I just cannot say it is like a jet speed. I will only say it what happened in such an exponential speed that nobody had a control. Whom will we go and complain about it? And to top all these things, we've had only a hype of negative stuff. We too contributed to it. And we too have been a party to it. How did we address these needs? How do we handle such kind of things? Take a pause. Take a break now. Take a deep breath. One or two deep breaths. Yeah? Let's move on. Moving on. The key to this entire thing is first to become resilient. What is becoming resilient? Becoming resilient is, I'll give you an example. A small kid who starts learning to walk. Have you seen that kid? All of us would have seen one kid at least in our life, correct? That kid tries to get up, falls. Again tries to get up, falls. Then somehow holds something and tries to stand. Then puts two steps holding something. Third step leaving that falls. Again gets up. The way the kid goes on trying and trying till the kid walks and not giving up, that attitude is a resilient attitude. No doubt the kid has fallen, but the kid is getting up. The kid is trying to do what needs to be done. That's the attitude of resilience. And we are all born humans with the resilience. It's there in nature. When nature itself is resilient, we are a part of this nature, right? We are no way separate from this nature. We are also resilient. So, if you ask me, what kind of resilience do we need to bring? Do you mean we should get used to this situation? Do you mean we should get used to this fear? No. I'm saying none of these things needs to be done. First thing about resilience is to all the negativity that's happening, let's, even if there is a thin hairline strand of positivity, let's start strengthening that. Let's give energy to that positivity. Let's pour fuel to that fire of that positivity. That spark, rather, I can say. That spark, let's not neglect that spark, because there is a saying, a spark neglected burns the house. But this spark is needed to burn us so that we don't get frozen. First, build that positivity. How? Build a positive network around us. Get connected to people who are positive minded, people who have been healed from COVID. Talk to them, learn the success stories. Look at the success stories of people who have been healed from this Delta variant. Develop all the network where you have hope. Look at that. Then start spreading that positivity. It's all of our duty that we shouldn't go about create or spread negativity. We have done it in the past, but now let's not go about doing it. Let's become resilient in the sense, leave the negativity and look at the positive aspect. Leave the negativity and look at the life aspect, life giving aspect of it. There are so many good things that have happened too, which I'm going to take forward and we are going to discuss in the weeks to come. But today I don't want to touch upon that, but I want to just say, look at the positive aspect of what is going on. Yes, there is pandemic outside. People are dying. Situation is bad. But you never got that pandemic. That's a positive thing. Thank God for it. A thankful heart keeps receiving more and more. Become thankful. There are people losing jobs. There is no money. It's happening with people. But you have food in your plate. You have a roof on top of your head. You have clothes to wear. Thank God for that and be content with what you have. There are people going into depression. They are alone. This is happening. That is happening. It's happening with others. Look at your state. You have a family. You have your loved ones to talk to. Maybe you're alone in different city. Maybe you're having some battles that you're facing, but you're not alone. You're just a phone call away from your family. And those are living with family, they are highly blessed and favored. You have your family with you. Yeah, we argue every day, we fight on this. So what? You have somebody to at least fight. You're not alone. Where there is love, that's where you tend to fight, because you know, you fight, tomorrow you can get back. Am I making sense? We all get that negative feelings. We let out that feelings. But at the end of the day, we do have that love for each other. It's because of that love we tend to fight too, many a times. And be thankful. Gratitude is an attitude that's appreciated even by God. He doesn't expect us to go about giving our offering. Okay, I'll give you $1 million, or I'll give you gold, I'll give you silver. No, He wants us to have a thankful heart. He wants to be us to be a blessing, cheerfully bless somebody else. Thank Him for what we have. We have something, let's share with it. That's the kind of attitude He expects from us. Any religion, any faith you see, they say only that be thankful and content with what you have and share what you have happily. Contentment is the key for anything. And how you get content? By thanking God. Look at the people who don't have and thank Him for what you have. How many times did we thank? That is when it comes to God. How about people? How many times have we thanked with people? How many times have we thanked our parents? How many times have we thanked our siblings? Have we thanked our friends? Thankfulness is also an attitude that we need to have. And not only that, amidst all these negative situations, amidst all these things that's happening, we need to have hope. We will see a better tomorrow. We will see a better day ahead. Amidst all these things, there is hope. This is a very famous story that always that comes to my mind when we talk about faith. There were a group of people who prayed for rain. They were all big people, people in faith, people who were sadhus, people who were saints. Everybody prayed. Along with them was a small kid, one boy. After praying, they said, "Come, let's go to the other side of the river or whatever place. We'll go see what will happen." Or for something they wanted to go, probably. Everybody started moving, that, but this boy ran inside the house. When everybody asked, "Why did you run inside the house?" he said, "We prayed, right, that it should rain. I'm sure it will rain. I went to bring the umbrella." How many of us have that faith like that kid? We prayed, nothing will happen to our family, we'll be blessed. So let's not worry. How many of us behave with that? These are the things actually that's rub the personal relationship. Now you might be asking, she said she's talking about personal relationship, but why is she talking about faith? Why is she talking about hope? Why is she talking about resilience? I'm coming. I'm coming there. I'll tell you. I'm just building the foundation right now. Amidst all these things, we forgot faith. We forgot there is hope. Okay, let me ask this very frank question. All of us sleep in the night, setting an alarm that tomorrow I should get up at 4:30 or 5:30. Some of us are used to at that time, but still we set an alarm so that we don't oversleep. Correct? Do we have the guarantee that tomorrow we are going to wake up? What if there is an earthquake or something happens today? Aren't we with the hope that nothing will happen? We are protected? It's just for a simple alarm. When we know that tomorrow we are going to see and we are going to do that, why not we live with a hope that this pandemic will not affect my family? Start confessing positive words. Start talking positive words. I am blessed. My family is blessed. No peril or pestilence will come on my family. It will not affect us. I serve a God who will protect my family. I've been praying to that God, not today, from ages for my family. We will be protected. 1,000 will fall at our side, 10,000 at our right hand, but nothing will come because God is bigger than this virus. How many of us have confessed that? Confess that on daily basis. And if there is a situation where we have to battle, we have to face it in a proper way. Because it's not the end. Today we are in a phase where we have vaccine. They have found different other vaccines even in the dear situation. Yes, many of them have passed away. I'm not going to go about debating that. Many of us lost our loved ones. I'm not going to debate about that. But there is one God above all that. If He has allowed it, we have to accept it and thank Him that He has kept us. This is one firm conviction I have. Till I have my duty on this earth, I have the breath in this body. The day my duty is over on this earth, my breath is gone from this body. I'm here for a purpose. I'm here for a greater good. So let me focus on doing that good. Let me not feed or nurture the negativity around me. Moving on. What exactly am I trying to convey amidst all this? Why am I talking so much about resilience? What has this got to do with a personal relationship? When I say personal relationship, it is the relationship that we have with ourselves. We beat ourselves if somebody is ill in the house. As women, tell me, if your son or your daughter is not well, don't you stay awake all night to see they are having everything provided? It's the nature of a mother. Don't you see that you stay awake all night if your husband is ill? Don't you stay awake all night if your in-laws or your parents are ill? It's my duty, it's my responsibility. But did you even realize that you have a duty towards yourself? Did you even realize that your body needs to be cared only by you? Nobody will come and care for you. Did you even realize that you taking so much of negative news, so much of negativity around you, you're dumping debris into your body, your mind? Did you even realize this negativity that you're taking like a sponge is actually going to affect your health, your thought process, your way of living? Did you even realize because you're taking so much of stress, so much of strain, so much of pain for everybody else in the family, or probably because of your friend circle, you're actually going ahead and creating a mess out of your own body mechanism, the way it's working? It is prone to happen. I'm not saying no, because even I get worried for my parents, I get worried for my friends. My friends might be miles away, but I get worried. I really get worried. And this has been a pandemic where none of us can go and help one another. We have to stay away and still check on people. We can't do anything else. We have to go through this. And what we saw all these 18, 19 months, if that is going to repeat again, that's the biggest fear most of us have right now. With the Delta variant thing coming, rumors spreading, and really cases increasing, and other stuff, I don't want to feel fear. I'm only trying to say, let's be positive, we can handle this. I'm only here to say, amidst all this chaos, we should love ourselves. We should care for ourselves. We, as women, should become resilient. We, as personal beings, as people who have to take care of ourselves, we should focus on our mental wellness too. If we are mentally well, we can spread that to everybody. The best way to go about doing it is self care. How? Self care is nurture positive thoughts, positive feelings, positive attitudes in yourself. Yes, Delta variant is happening. but it's not going to affect my family. I'm praying for it. My family will be saved. Nothing will happen to my family. All of us believe in faith somewhere or the other, no? Now you might say, I'm an atheist. I don't believe in God. Fine, you don't believe, but do you believe in positivity? Do you believe that there is power of life and death in your tongue? Do you believe that what you think and what you say is what is going to happen? So think positive, talk positive. Now you might say, I'm not an atheist, I'm not a believer or a person with faith. I'm an agnotist. Fine. Even agnotist believe in cosmos, the energies of cosmos. Do you believe in positive energy and negative energy? Do you believe positive energy is released when you speak positive, think positive, feel positive? Why don't you induce that? Why don't you induce that in yourself first? If you have that, you can go about spreading it to everybody. It's like an aura. Now, we all wear perfume, correct? We all wear deo spray to feel good for ourselves. We all wear perfume to smell good, correct? Now, that smell, does it first begin with us and retain to only us, or does it spread to everybody? Wherever you go, you carry that smell, correct? You carry that odor. The same way, even this is. As women, first we need to have that self care and we need to go about bringing that positivity in us, even in the worst situation of highest negativity. Bring in some lifestyle changes. I know we have come to a burnt out stage. I'm not denying. All of us are frustrated to a maximum level. We are irritated. I know all that, all of it. But still, we got to live. We can't complain over here. Move towards your goals. Set goals. Within December, I'm going to achieve this physically. Mentally, I'm going to do these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tasks. I'm going to support myself to attain these. I'm going to do these courses. I'm going to read these books. I'm going to counsel so many people in my friend circle. I'm going to be there for my family. For me to do all this, first, I got to be there for myself. I got to love myself. I got to bring in that healthy habits in me. I got to become positive. I should show my life as an example for people around me. There is always a saying, your kid listens to you, but learns from what you do. Do you agree with me? We as kids also have done that. We listen to our parents, but we behave as our parents behaved. Why? Because we do by watching. Our actions matter a lot because somebody else is following us. So let's develop that positive actions. Let's go about cascading it. How? You just can't go about self indulging always. You need that peer connection. You have your friends you haven't got in touch with, get in touch with them. During this particular pandemic, you fought with any of your friends, leave that behind. I'm sorry, I did was wrong. Please accept my apology. Let's move on. I need you. I can't live without you. You're my friend. You did something wrong with some other friends or relative circle, go ahead, apologize and connect. That's the best way to live. See, I can say this with conviction because I went through some stuff in my life where I used to beat up myself. When I used to say, I am at fault, I am at fault. It's because of me all this happened. Because of me, I made my life a wreck. This is what I have done. That is the mess I have done. And then I did that for a year. Then I said, no, it can't be just me. My life is just not me. If that was the case, I would have lived alone. Why am I having so many people? Fine, so many people are there. Then I started identifying mistakes in people. That is also not correct. That is also not correct. That's when I said, stop. Let's take a break. I'm not going to judge myself. I'm not going to judge anybody around me. I am as human as possible, same way others are also human. If I can do mistakes, they can do mistakes. If I can forgive myself, I have to forgive them too. Above all, if God can forgive me and bless me, who am I to beat myself or beat somebody else? What rights do I have? So that's the first compromise I did with myself. No more beating up myself. No more blaming myself. And I kept saying this every day. Kalyani, you are not what people say you are. You are what God says you are. God said you're beautiful, I'm beautiful. God said you're an amazing human being, I'm an amazing human being. I'm made in His image. He made me. I have His fingerprints all over my body. I have His fingerprints all over my mind. My thoughts are written by Him. I kept confessing this. Openly, I'm saying this. I started speaking this. If He said, I am capable of doing this, yes, I'm capable of doing this. How can somebody else talk me out of it? He or she has no power to say that. I am born for a greater good. These people came into my life maybe 2 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, maybe 10 years ago. What right they have to say this? I even came to an extent to question, my parents gave birth to me, but they have no right to decide my future. They have no right to decide or write my destiny. It is He who created me only can do that. That's when my perspective towards life changed. I know we are going through the pandemic. There is so much of negativity. There is so many things that is happening. But this has no right to decide my future. There is ultimate God who will write. And if I'm an agnotist or an atheist, I don't believe in God. I believe in destiny. I believe I make my destiny with my positive actions and with my positive behavior. I can't sit folding my hands that somebody will do something for me. I need to do that. We get into the car, we start the engine. It is we who got to go about changing the gear and starting to accelerate. Do you agree with me or not? Okay, even if it is a gearless vehicle, it is we who release the handbrake and start accelerating. Unless we pedal on the accelerator, the car will not move. Do you agree with me or not? Same way, unless we start moving towards positivity, nothing will move. So let's go back, become resilient, restore all the relationships that we have tried to mess up. We tried to go about fighting, we tried to go about whatever we did. We did it. We are humans. We do mistakes. Let's apologize. Let's reconnect with people. If we have missed out on connections, let's reconnect there. Forgive people for what they have done. Forgive yourself. And now we are going through a crucial phase of life where we need to accept the existing change. Accept this normal. I don't know what it is called as on date. It was called as new normal maybe a year ago. Now, has it become an old normal or has it become a normal? I don't even know that. Whatever is happening, let's accept. Go with the flow. Go with the flow. Let's not go against the flow, but go with the flow. And take decisions which are going to support and enhance us to become resilient. Make decisions. Make right choices. Support our family with that. One key thing for all this is you becoming positive. Am I there with you? Are we on the same page? Moving on. Now you will come back and ask me, you spoke about resilience, you said you have to do this, but what do you know about all these things? How can you say, I am hurt with my husband, I haven't spoken to my husband for over 2 months, we both fought on this topic, or I haven't spoken to my in-laws because I got irritated with them and I shouted at them and they are also hurt. Or I had a rift with my colleague in the office and we have not been in talking terms. What do you know about the emotional backlog that I'm having because of this, or emotional baggage that I'm carrying because of all this? I'm here right now. We are going to discuss that right away. Firstly, we have to attack all the problems. First, attack our emotional problems. Like I said, if we've had a rift, if we've had issue with somebody, we are at fault. Let's go ahead and apologize. But the same thing, if the other person is at fault, let's be patient. Let's be loving. Let's be caring. Let's be patient till that person gets that remorse and come back. We are all humans. Nobody is born gods or perfectionists here. We all have, like how I have mood swing, everybody around me have. Like how I battle with my thoughts and my actions, they too must be battling. But let me be the first person to make the difference. My emotions, if I have under control, if I'm able to go about forgive myself and forgive people around me, I will be at peace. I will be at calm. Yes, there are situations where we need to wait for destiny or time to take a call, but it's beautiful. But it's beautiful. The journey is going to be beautiful. Be positive, stay positive, be assertive. Now you might come back and say, yeah, emotional wise, I have no issues. All I have is financial wise. My salary is cut. I don't have increment. I have so much of expenses. I have so many financial, this one's commitments. I am not having this. I'm stop. Take a break. You have food today in your plate. You have roof on your head. You have clothes to wear. First, thank God for it. Be content with it. Discuss with people how you can go about get arriving at a solution. Any problem can be resolved by discussing. Don't react for the problem, respond for that problem. Financial crisis, I do agree. There must be some way out. Talk to the financial officer. Tell them your situation openly. They might work out some way. That's where again put it in faith. Pray about it before you go talking. God will find favor for you and He will put that financial officer or that wisdom in that financial officer who will say, there is this particular clause where you can go about signing which has come in newly. You can avail that as a benefit. Okay, I don't have financial issue, I don't have emotional issue, I'm just alone. I feel so left over. My husband is always on calls, kids are not around. I'm really burned out. Develop that connections. Who stopped you from connecting to your old friends? Who stopped you from talking to your friends? Who stopped you from interacting with your friends? Pandemic where who stopped you from getting on Zoom call or a Teams call? All this technology is not meant only for professional life. You can use it even for your personal life. You can use it for your personal life. Go about using that, connect, reconnect with people. This is the most important aspect, I feel, connecting with people and sharing what you feel. If you still feel you have nobody to talk to, nobody to share your problems, you still feel lonely, reach out to us. We are at ear to hear, all ears to hear your problem. Then you might come back and say, what do you know about spiritual aspect? I'm not able to sit even for 1 hour to pray. I can't even pray. I'm not able to think. I'm only circled with problems or captivated with my thoughts. And this one, that's one of the best way to break is get onto a spiritual mode. Take a spiritual book and start reading. Look at it how people have gone through that. It's not that we are going through the problem today, that so that this is a problem people haven't gone through. People went through problems at every stage of life, which has been recorded. Look at the success stories, how they handled it. Don't, you'll come back and say in that particular book they were living in nomad age, they've had this as the problem, but today we are all civilized, we have technology. Don't look at the situation, look at the mentality, emotion, the spiritual angle of it. Adapt it and adopt it. This is something that I learned in my life. When I have a problem, I don't run to my phone, I run to the throne. I go on my knees and I pray. Why? Because the ultimate bipolar is He. He can change my situation. I don't want to confess anything negative with anybody, so I go on my knees and pray. Now you'll come back and say, I'm an atheist, I'm an agnotist, I don't believe in God, I cannot pray, I don't. Calm, meditate on something. Search for the inner peace that is there in yourself. Peace doesn't come from outside. Peace doesn't come from movies. Peace doesn't come from money. Peace doesn't come from food. Peace doesn't come from beauty. Peace comes from within. Peace comes from within. Look out for that peace. Look out for that peace. Now you'll come back and say, what do you know? Spiritually, also, I'm praying. I'm able to sit and do whatever meditation. I'm able to get that thing. But my only thing that's burning is I'm not satisfied. I'm really not feeling happy. Something is missing out in my life. Something is burning within me. I feel like there is a vacuum. If you're spiritually inclined and you're focused within yourself, that vacuum will not come. As women, we are prone to take more than anxiety than we can even imagine. And that can create blocks of vacuum. It's for us to attack it. And where there is vacuum, where there is emptiness, that's where the destruction begins. You're feeling that vacuum today, address it. Talk to somebody. Otherwise, call us. We'll help you. Most important of all these things is bring in your physical activities. Focus on your physique. Focus on becoming thin. Focus on staying fit. Focus on looking beautiful inside out. That itself will put all the other things in place. It will give you a right thinking. When you work out, when you walk, when you exercise, when you jog, when you do whatever physical activity, hormones of happiness are released. And look out for those hormones. Automatically, the other hormones are purged out of your body. When I say purge, they have to detox. Get into a detox mode. Weekly, one day, don't have any food. Get on a liquid diet. Healthy liquid diet. Weekly, one day, detox your complete gadgets and become like a nomad and live like how you were living in. If you were to living in Stone Age, how you would have lived. Go back to those days. Stone Age will be a little exaggeration. Okay, let us go back to our grandparents' days without technology, or even our parents' days. Read healthy books, books with healthy stuff. Watch movies which are filled with fun and laughter. Keep your surroundings positive, your atmosphere positive. Associate with intellectual people. Now, this is something that is my favorite. Now, if you ask me, intellectual people, what kind of intellectual people do you mean to say? PhDs? I don't have. When I say intellectual people, it is not the degree or their education background that matters. It is the way they attack a problem. It is the way our grandparents were actually super intellectual people. Without technology, they have studied. They've grasped things and they've lived their lives. They know this, call this घर के नुस्खे, right? पेट का दर्द है तो जीरा पानी के साथ ले लो, पेट का दर्द कम होगा. गरम पानी पी लो. This small tiny weeny things what they used to follow in their life made a big impact in our lives too, not just their lives. So that kind of mentality is an intellectual mentality where you don't require badas or degrees. Simple life where you look at happiness in that, where you get happiness in that. Of course, we are in a situation where everybody is going through stress, everybody is going through things. Let that not affect. Let us not only look at the negative side, look at the positive side of the situation. Positive side is all of you all are under same roof. Your family is under one roof. You're not staggered. There is medicine. There is cure. You have people to talk. If you don't have personal friend, you have forums like Here to Here where you can reach out and tell. So all these circles of things make us feel good. And that goodness will begin from us, within us. So I'm concluding and saying we are important. So let's focus on ourselves first, make ourselves completely well so that we are able to cascade that wellness. No, I'm not saying you sit, you become well for 6 months, then focus on your son, your daughter, your husband. No. It's a everyday project where every day you build your wellness at the same time you support others building their wellness. Your positivity can do wonders, not just for you, but for everybody around in your world. So stay positive, stay assertive, stay hopeful, be in faith, be thankful to God, and above all, be happy. Moving on. Once again, you still have any concerns you want to share, reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to help you. We're all ears for you. So I'm all done and waiting for your questions. Please let me know if you have any questions. My main aim of touching today and taking a different approach today was only and only to go about ensuring that you will be able to understand what I'm arriving at. Because we tend to forget about ourselves amidst all this, and we are important too. And that's why I'm working on this entire series where I'm talking about how we can go about attacking this prolonged pandemic stage. Thank you, whoever has written. I just couldn't read because I was focused on what I was saying. Thank you for your comments. You have any further questions, reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to address that. So let's be safe, let's be happy, and let's spread positivity and contentment. Thank you, one and all. May I request the production team to play the video?
प्रॉब्लम मुझे भी है, लेकिन कोई शेयर करने वाला नहीं है.
You can talk to me. I'm there for you. Come and join us on the below number. We will keep it a secret. The promise that you will have a smile before